I love underdog stories, I love sports biopic. Even though I'm not a sports person myself, I do love underdog stories and I do love sports movies. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is Owen DeBrincat, and today I'm going to review the latest sports biopic film that just streamed on Disney+, and that film is Young Women and the Sea. This movie is directed by Joachim Rønning, who directed movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and Maleficent Mistress of Evil, and this movie stars Daisy Ridley. Based on an incredible true story of a competitive Olympic swimmer, Trudy Adeline, who in 1926 was the first woman to ever swim across the English Channel, 21 miles from France to England. Now, I didn't get a chance to see this movie in theaters for limited release because I live in Australia, so this movie did not release in theaters here, but it did release on Disney+, and it's a good thing because I was interested in this film. I love Daisy Ridley as an actress, and this is a story that I never even heard of. The first female Olympic swimmer that swam 21 miles from France to England, and it's one of those stories where I'm like, I love stories like that. I love people achieving the impossible type stories. You know, movies like The Walk, for example, where people are doing the most impossible thing and somehow they achieved it. I love underdog stories. I love sports biopic. Even though I'm not a sports person myself, I do love underdog stories and I do love sports movies. And Young Women in the Sea absolutely gave me that. This movie is a very good sports biopic film and a pretty achievable underdog story. And I gotta say, Daisy Ridley in this film is fantastic in this film as Trudy. You definitely root for her character to basically achieve her dream in this film. Because this movie took place, of course, in 1926, where the world is like, yes, men are great at sports and women are just good at like washing clothes and all that stuff. And this is a movie about women doing the impossible, where everyone just treat women as like objects and stuff, not treating them as the same person as males. And I just find that really disgusting. I hate how men treated women back in the day. I thought that's very disgusting. You should treat people the way that you're meant to be treated. So it's in a world where like female sports aren't really that big back in the day. And Trudy is one of those people that kind of changes the revolutionaries of female sports. And I thought this is a really achievable underdog story. And I just think Daisy really does a fantastic performance here. She's one of those people that wants to do this dream. You definitely root for her to achieve that dream. And what I like about this film the most is that this movie takes its time, because before the English Channel story, this is about her becoming an Olympian. And it's a slow underdog story that's actually paced very, very well. Each scene of Young Women in the Sea, you definitely are in Trudy's hands. You're definitely rooting for Daisy Ridley's character in this film to achieve the impossible. And when she became the famous Olympic champion, that's when she wants to swim across the English Channel. One of the most impossible tasks that ever has come to an Olympic champion. And again, you definitely root for Trudy to achieve the impossible. And I gotta say, the swimming scenes in this film is very, very impactful. There are some very intense scenes in this film, but it's also very joyful and inspirational. And the way that this movie is filmed within the swimming scenes are really well done. I don't know if Daisy really actually did the swimming herself. It's hard to tell, but if she did, that is fantastic. If it's by a stunt woman, I completely understand. It's probably the hardest thing to do, but still, the swimming scenes are very impactful in this film, and it's just really well praised in this film, and it's really well filmed. It's definitely one of those underdog stories that you definitely root for the character to basically do her dream, rooting for her to do the impossible, and I love stories like that, and it's very easy for me to follow. Yes, this movie kind of has cliches and stuff that you've seen many times before, you know, people saying, oh, what you're doing is impossible and stuff, but it's a biopic, it's a true story, so like I said in a lot of true story reviews, it can get away with it because it actually happened. There's a difference between fictional cliches and true story cliches, and this movie's definitely in that category of true story cliches. But I also love Trudy's chemistry with other people as well, like her sister in this film, which is one of the most biggest important parts about this film, because their chemistry is really well done and it helps Trudy to achieve that dream. And I thought the actress who played her sister in the film does a really good job in the film. Also, her father in this film is really good in the film. He's one of those fathers that's very overprotective of this situation. He wants to do the best he can with his family, and he later on supports Trudy throughout the film, and he does a really good job. The coach as well in this film is really good in this film. Just the supporting characters, you really root for them to root for Trudy in this film, and every supporting actor does a great job. The direction of this film is really well done, and Daisy Ridley, for her achievable performance in this film, probably one of the best I've seen her in a while. You definitely root for a character to achieve that dream. Like I said, I just love underdog stories where you just root for the characters to achieve the impossible, and this movie just does that really well. It's a very easy film for me to basically root for. I feel like this is going to be one of those overlooked films that came out in 2024, because honestly, I don't think any people that I'll say, have you seen Young Woman to See, and have you heard of it? Because I feel like this film should get more praise than it deserves. I gotta say, guys, overall, Young Woman to See is a pretty overlooked movie that came out this year so far. Daisy really brings out one of her best performances that I've seen her since Star Wars. The whole inspirational story. You root for Trudy to swim through the ocean channel. You root for her to achieve the impossible. It's one of those movies that's very inspirational, very joyful. I think it's pretty good for the whole family, even though there are some dark themes that this movie presented. But it doesn't go too harsh with that. I think the whole family will enjoy this movie. This is a pretty simple underdog story that's very achievable. The direction of this movie is really well done. It's just like I say, if you love underdog stories, if you love sports movies, you will absolutely love Young Women to See. And I thought Young Women to See is a very inspirational film. And I gotta say, for Young Women to See, definitely stream this movie. So guys, that is my review for Young Women and the Sea. Let me know what you think of this movie in the comments below. Do you like the movie, hate the movie, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. And make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and notify for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Now, excuse me guys, I'm going to see Deadpool and Wolverine because, man, I've been waiting all week for it. Now I'm seeing it tonight. Can't wait to upload my review of it. So, guys, have a nice day.